guys, Christoph here from the Card Boyz. We got Isacc here with his top 64 deck profile. Thanks for being here, Isacc.
Hello, thank you for having me. Yeah, top 64. Felt good, felt very good. Went 7-2 on the day, piloting Enel. My losses were pretty early in the day. We finished it out pretty strong. Just wins through the end after round 3. So a little bit of submarining, but still happy.
I mean, you still got top 64.
Yeah, exactly.
What were your matchups, if you remember?
So round 1 was against Purple Luffy, and they absolutely rolled me. I thought I was gonna have a horrible day. They had like the perfect curve in like Poly, Vanilla Rod 4, Poly to KO my 4-Don play, like Magellan to put me off 8-Don, and then Kaido. It felt horrible. That was my round 1 loss, and I thought it was gonna be really shaky. Brought it back in round 2. We versed Sakazuki, and we won. It was pretty easy that game. Didn't really. A lot of people want to starve against Saka, but played a pretty fast game. Was playing like greedy Holy on 3, Ohm Holy on 5. Just like really greedy, really aggressive. Luckily I didn't see too much and we were able to pull it through. Round 3 was my second loss for the day against a second Sakazuki. I was feeling pretty confident going in after my round 2, but yeah, they just like, turn 1 they're trashing Hound Blazers from hand. I know it's going to be bad. Their hand's either like extremely choppy removal or it's just like so much good stuff they want to get rid of the Hound Blazer. I knew it was going to be a long game. But yeah, just ran out of gas in the end, and they just had just enough removal to hold me off, which was unlucky. After round 3, felt pretty good. Won the rest of the day out. Round 4 was a Whitebeard. That was pretty safe. Just Katakuri was really clutch that game. Like catting away their stuff. They're just taking the life anyway. It doesn't matter to me. Round 5 was against a Katakuri. That one was kind of dicey, but they didn't see much out of life. Neither did I. But yeah, they didn't see much out of life, and it was kind of easy to control the board. And had the Yamatos for 10 dons, so the moment they drop 10 dons, I'm just Yamatoing back to life that it's trashing. Round 6 was Red Purple Kid. I was really surprised to see it that late in the tournament. It was really scary. I didn't have anything to play until about 8 Don, so my hand was just really full of 2k counters. I had a Yamato and a 7-cost Big Mom, I think, and yeah, there was a lot of rush coming from them, and it was really scary. It got really low. I didn't really have a play at all to like actually hook onto the field. My only early play I could play was a Mond, which helped me control the board early a little bit and get to that 8 Don so I could actually start playing the game. But it cost a lot of counter because the only trigger cards I had in my hand to trash off it were Beige and Satori, which was really rough. Round 7 was against another Katakuri. It was pretty much the same as the last one, just rushing them down, playing a really fast game, making sure that they're low enough that when they hit 10 Don, I'm in a good position. I'm not like going to lose straight away from them dropping a 10 mum or even 2 in a row. Being fast, being aggressive. It was a nice win, not too difficult on that one. Round 8 was another Purple Luffy, and I was kind of dreading this matchup. Just haven't had a lot of practice into it, and was kind of reeling a bit from round 1. But it was rough that game. They were on 10 Don at one point. I was at 6 because they ramped pretty aggressive, and they dropped double Magellan to put me back to 4, which put me back up to 6 that turn. It felt really bad, but we had double Ohm Holy combo, so we had heaps of tempo on the board, so we kind of mitigated the Don there, which was really good. And then Thunderbolt and Amaru to go for game, clearing their blockers was just a nice smooth end to the game, but it was really, really shaky at the start. Final round was against Enel. It was my first Enel mirror of the day, and I was kind of scared as well. I hadn't versed the mirror all day. I've kind of prepared for it, but yeah, it's always scary, the first mirror. I won the dice roll, I went first. I think it's better in the mirror. You just have so many more tools, like going first. You hit your 7 first, so you're getting bigger bodies on the field before them. I think it's just better in the mirror, and yeah, I got what I wanted, went first, and like kind of cleaned them up. Both our lives were kind of unremarkable, but Yeah, no, it was a nice, easy win to finish off the day, thankfully.
Fair enough. Well, let's get to it then.
We'll show off the deck. It's pretty standard. We'll start off with the Ohm Holly, playing 4 of each. The card's just so good. It's like Ohm on 4, play a Holly. It's just great. You hate to see things go to the bottom with Ohm, but he's just so good. Like playing the Holly, if you hit the Holly, if you have it in hand, you're happy to see things go to the bottom to get these two things on early. It forces a lot of removal into the sucker matchup. Like they need to spend quite a bit to get rid of them. Even if you don't hit the Holly, I think Ohm's still a good play because he's generally like when you're below 2 life, he gains 1,000, and generally you want to be taking like your first life early. So he's effectively just a vanilla if you don't hit the Holly, which is fine. Honestly, I think vanillas are great. Obviously, we're looking to play a vanilla of him, so yeah, I think they're great. Next is the Sanji. In here as a trigger blocker. Didn't find myself playing it too much throughout the day. If I had it in my hand, it was generally going for counter. It was only really if I saw it coming out of life that I'd actually put it onto the field. You could play Brule instead, but I wasn't playing a lot of the other Big Mum engine. More of the Sky Island in my list at least, and I didn't really want to play Brule because it's less of an attacker if it hits the field as well. With Sanji, I do have the option to play it, and triggering out of life is a threat that it hits the board. If I were to play Brule, I'd probably play things like Pudding, things like Smoothie, a bit more of the Big Mum stuff, just so it'd be a bit more cohesive. But without playing that, I think Sanji's the better pick. Next up was 2 Crackers. It's kind of a flex spot. I've been thinking about trying out Smoothies in this spot instead, but on the day I felt Cracker was going to provide a bit more value. Coming out of life is just a threat. It's the same as Sanji. Don 1, you have double attack if you're less life and 1,000 power. It felt really good seeing Cracker. A lot of games, like he came out of life, and it was just really good to see him hit the field. Provided a lot of pressure on the crackback. I was just generally happy to see him all day. I could swap him out for Smoothie. I've been thinking about it, only because she has a bit more interaction with your life. So if they're trying to starve you on 2 life, you can take with the Smoothie, so you can play a Yamahu to heal back and get that extra card. But I think Cracker was the better choice on the day, and I'm thankful I played him instead.
Would you think about bumping him up at all to 3 or 4?
I could see him going to 3, maybe not 4. Only because the deck I feel was kind of tight in my opinion. I didn't really want to change many of the other ratios, but I could definitely see putting him up to 3 as something that I could look at. Only because he did feel really good when I saw him. After the Cracker is 3 Gidatsu. I think this card's really good. A lot of people at my locals don't like him. I'm not sure why. He's removal. Yellow desperately needs removal. He's kind of rough into Purple Luffy. A lot of the time he's not going to hit, but that's generally a matchup when you're looking for Ohm Holly instead. Into Sucker, Gidatsu is the MVP. He clears their Kuzans early. He clears their Luchis early. He's just really good at keeping those threats that you need to get off the board. And generally you're playing a bit of a starve game against that matchup, where you're trying to keep them from getting cards in hand, use all their cards to try and remove your board, and then swing in when there's less in hand, so put more pressure on them when they're out of cards. Gidatsu was really good into those matchups. The Sucker matchup that I won, I'm pretty sure I went first, and I played Gidatsu on 5 to KO a Kuzan. It just felt really good, and was it provided a lot of tempo for the rest of the game from there. I'd keep him at 3 though, because I don't really want to see too much of him, but into those matchups I definitely want to see at least 1. Next up is 4 Shirahoshi. This card is really good at fixing your hand. There was a lot of games where I didn't really have many plays in my hand on 5, and just playing the Shirahoshi, cycling the hand, seeing 3 new cards was really, really helpful. Obviously it's in there to come out of life, trigger it. But yeah, a lot of the games I hard played it, and it still felt really, really good just seeing more of the deck. You want to dig for your Yamatos, it's probably the best card in the deck, you want to see it. You want to see your Katakuri, you just want to get to cards that can give you life back so you can play around your leader effect. I'd keep it at 4 only because I'm playing around 12 non-counter top-end cards as well as events. So being able to filter them out towards the end of the game when you need that counter is really, really good. Next up is the 2Ks. We're playing a pretty general 2K list. 4 beige, insane. You're never playing this card. It's trigger, they can't attack. It's just so overpowered. That in Last Life is just game ending in some games. It feels so bad for your opponent when it comes out and just loses them the game.
Yeah, it happened to me in my game. Got out Last Life, couldn't win.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does feel bad.
Yeah, I didn't see it too much in, like it didn't really come up too much, the trigger. A lot of the times it was my, first or second life and I'm just adding it to hand, but it's a 2K, so there's no harm there. The other 4 2Ks is Satori. This is just the other really good general 2K for yellow. Trigger, trash a card, play it from your hand. It's just, it's a 5K body on a 2K counter that plays out of your life. It's just crazy. Like, this should be 4K. It's just a free body. A lot of the time you're playing it just to keep tempo on the board, like put pressure on them. But yeah, like it's a 2K. If you don't feel you need to put that pressure on the board, you can just add it to hand. It's super, super versatile. And it just, I'm not sure why this card's 5K power.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Compared to like double fingers is 4.
Yeah, double fingers 4. You have to neg a Don for that one. It's just, this is, really, really good. Playing 10 2Ks overall. Last 2 is Amand. I was playing Conies in this slot, the Sky Island 2K, but I found that I really wanted to cut the Shura, the Searcher for Sky Island, and in cutting him, I didn't really feel the need to play the Conies because it was only really there as a searchable 2K, just to up the search count for the Shura. I felt like playing Amand was probably the best choice out of the remaining 2Ks in yellow. Only because it was a body on board that I could pump with Amaru if I needed. It was really good into low-cost matchups like Whitebeard early on, as well as the Red-Purple Kid. They played a Sanji early, the Sanji that adds your life to your hand, attaches to Rested Don, and gets plus 2K. Resting that with Amand early and taking care of it stopped so much card advantage on their end, and helped slow down the pace of the game so I could get to my top end. You could play Struzen instead, you could play any of the other 2K counters. I just felt like Amand had the most relevant effect for what I wanted. There are some upsides to playing Struzen and the lower cost 2Ks, being able to play them on your turn and category them into your life, which you can't with Amand because it's 11 Don. But yeah, even with that, I felt like Amand was just, it would provide the most utility if I needed to use it, and it definitely came up. It definitely came up during the day. Next up, we are heading into the top end. I'm playing, I believe it is 12 top end cards. We have 2 Charlotte Lindley, 3 Enel, 3 Katakuri, and 4 Yamato. It's pretty standard, I think. For Yamato, it's the best card in the deck. It pops, it heals, it does everything you want. A lot of the time I found myself in matches just playing into KO or something. You don't even need the heal. It's just the best card in the deck. That's also why I wanted to cut the Shura Searcher, because a lot of the time I'm searching. I am seeing those Orem Holy, those good early game pieces, but putting Yamatos at the bottom feels really, really bad. I don't know, it's just how I felt with the deck. I didn't really feel like I wanted to play Searchers and put the best card to the bottom.
How'd you feel out of these two? Like, would you change the ratio at all? Because I know some people like run 3 and like maybe 2 of these, or...
I've seen some people play 4 Enel, only because it's really, really good into Sakazuki. It's really sticky, really hard to get rid of. I feel like I saw it enough at 3, and I wouldn't want to put it down because I'm not playing the Searcher, so I wouldn't want to put it lower than 3. But I probably wouldn't bump it up. I was happy with what it was. Charlotte Linlin is a card that's in there mainly for Purple Luffy. Because generally into Purple Luffy, I want to take second and go for Orem Holy. Just to put things on the board, because they're going to ramp a lot faster than you, play cards a lot quicker than you. So I generally want to take second, and Linlin's in there because they will want to Magellan you off your 8-Don curve, so you can't Katakuri. When they do that, Linlin is the perfect piece there to put the pressure on them. So they either trash a life, which they have to take to ramp, so it's putting pressure on them, or healing you back up, which completely mitigates the Magellan trying to put you a turn behind. It was really good into Purple Luffy. Into a lot of other matchups, didn't see a lot of play. A lot of the time it was just trashed for my leader effect or Shirahoshi. But into Purple Luffy was really, really good. Into the mirror as well, it's quite good. But you do have to be careful. If they're just giving you the life, you're going up high so that Yamatos can pop big cost, which is really scary. Katakuri, I'd probably keep at 3. I could drop this to 2 and bump Lin or Enel. It's just, you know, generic yellow good card. It's in every yellow deck. It's what makes every yellow deck so expensive. It's just there to heal. I don't think I put an opponent's character into life all day. There's definitely times when you will need to do that, but yeah, it just felt really good putting my own stuff into life. Didn't honestly play it that much. I preferred to play the other top end over Katakuri. It went to trash quite a bit. But yeah, you just can't not have it. I say it's a free heal at times. Even if you're out of cards in hand, you have no characters on board, you can play the cat, put the cat into your life. You're effectively putting yourself back to 2 life, even just like as an emergency button. Really, really good. After that is the event lineup I was running for the day. I was running, I believe, total of 8 events, 7 events. So we have 2 Thunderbolt. I really don't like Thunderbolt, but it feels really essential. Being able to clear 5 costs, really good into Purple Luffy, which is a matchup I'm not, like I said, not too confident in. I want all the tools to be able to deal with it. Being able to KO one of their 5 cost blockers is just really, really good. Trashing a life, you know, not the worst into an L. You basically have that free life anyway. As long as you're not on one when you use it on your turn, you're generally fine with it. Didn't see it come out of life much. It is only a 2. But yeah, it's free out of life, which is really great as well. Next up was 200 million volts Amaru. This card is a big game ender. When you're on 1 life, you can rest a 4 cost and give one of your characters plus 3000 power. This card, I would consider putting to 4, honestly. Even if you're not resting something, it's a free don. It's 2 don to give something 3k power. It's just a free don. And the fact that you rest something as well is just really, really good. Especially into decks like Isacc, which is putting on the unKOable Borsalinos. It's putting on a whole bunch of Rebeccas to cards. It just gives you the freedom to swing where you want.
Plus the trigger abilities.
Yeah, plus the trigger. Trash 2 cards, heal a life. A lot of the times you don't want to use this trigger only because you hit it early, and going down cards and 2 cards in hand isn't great early, but it can definitely be a game saver if you hit it towards the end. Like similar to Beige. It's a trigger that can save the game. It's a trigger that can win or lose you the game on the spot. Final 2 events I'm playing is 2 L4. A lot of lists aren't playing L4, and I was considering not running L4 and instead running some extra crackers or something like that. But Radical Beam just feels really nice. It's really similar to Radical Beam. When your opponent's on 2 life for L4, you can counter, it'll give you 2000 power to your leader or character, and then 2000 additional if your opponent is 2 or less life. A lot of low life leaders in the meta, like Sucker, which is on 4 life, and you kind of want to swing into Purple Luffy, which takes its own life. The card is really, really good to protect your board towards the end game. When you are just sitting on big stuff on the board, and they have to invest so much Don to clear them, L4 is really great there, just to 1 Don, 4k. Like 1 card, 4k. It just feels really, really good. I definitely wouldn't cut it. I probably wouldn't put it up either. It just felt really smooth at 2. And yeah, really clutch to just defend those big bodies towards the end of the game.
Fair enough. So I guess we've just talked about you might change the crackers out for smoothies or something like that. Any other changes that you feel like you want to make, or any changes you wish you made beforehand? Or
not really. I felt really, really happy with the list. Yeah, the only one that I kind of think is maybe putting up the cracker and maybe swapping it out for smoothie, only because you do get a lot of interaction with smoothie with your life. because a lot of people will try and leave you with 2 life. So having the smoothie on the field lets you take down to that 1, which lets you heal with your Yamato, gives you an extra card. It also puts you into 1 life so that you can use your Amaru. So going for game, you can take down to 1 if they've kept you at 1. Turns on your Amaru, which if you put it on your smoothie is a 10k swing for 2 Don. Like it's one of the reasons I consider running the card, but I felt like Cracker just put a lot more pressure on. And I felt like if I had the Cracker come out of life, I'd be a bit more satisfied into the matchups I wasn't comfortable with, like Purple Luffy, just to put the pressure back on them instead of Smoothie.
Fair enough. So what are you feeling for the rest of the set? Are you going to stick as Enel? Or you think about maybe trying something else, Sucker or Purple Luffy or something? Or?
I'm probably going to stick with Enel. He is one of my favorite characters, but I'm not too sure. I tried Sucker, it didn't really gel with the map that much. Purple Luffy was fun, but I'll probably stick with Enel for the rest of the set. Even heading into early next set, it looks like it's getting some cool tools coming up.
Well, Tuesday, thanks for the deck profile and congratulations on your top 64 placement.
Thank you.
All right, catch you later.